Imagine pushing a massive truck up a gravel-covered hill. Every inch forward feels like monumental effort. The tires spin, the engine roars, and yet your progress is barely visible. That's the first $100,000. Every dollar saved feels like a tiny push. Every portfolio gains a rounding error. The weight of bills, lifestyle pressures, and unexpected expenses compounds, making the climb feel almost impossible. This is what I call the gravity of zero, the stage where money isn't yet your employee and you are carrying almost all the weight. Most people think building wealth is simple. Earn, save, invest, watch compounding do its magic. The truth, compounding is patient, but humans are not. Our brains crave immediate rewards. Skipping a night out, resisting impulse purchases, or packing a lunch can feel like sacrifice instead of investment. Social media doesn't help. It magnifies the illusion that everyone else is flying past while you inch forward. That's the psychological trap: comparison, impatience, and frustration. Let's ground this in real numbers without losing the narrative. Suppose you invest $1,000 a month at a 7% annual return. After 1 year, your account sits around $12,500. Only $500 of that is actual investment growth. The rest is your labor. After 3 years, you're at $40,000, but only $4,000 is from compound returns. The rest is pure contribution. Even after 5 years, you hit $75,000, yet the bulk is still your effort. Compounding hasn't failed, it's just quiet at the base. This slow start feels brutal, because it is, but the early struggle is also your most valuable teacher. You learn discipline, patience, and how to resist lifestyle inflation. Every automated transfer, every conscious saving choice, every small investment compounds, not immediately in dollars, but in habits, confidence, and financial literacy. Think of it as training your muscles before the sprint. The first $100,000 isn't just a number, it's a crucible, forging the mindset, routines, and endurance that allow the next stage to accelerate. Here's the subtle shift. The grind teaches leverage. The systems you build while pushing that truck, automated savings, disciplined spending, habit-forming investing, are invisible engines. They're what let your money start working alongside you when the slope begins to flatten. And when it does, the difference is dramatic. Now imagine a moment your truck finally crests that hill. You're breathing heavily, sweat dripping, but suddenly the slope ahead feels different. That's the shift after the first $100,000. The effort doesn't disappear, but the friction changes. The habits and systems you've built now start to amplify your results instead of merely sustaining them. Compounding becomes a partner instead of a passenger. Let's make it concrete. That $100,000 invested at 7% now produces $7,000 per year on its own. Keep contributing your $1,000 per month and your account grows by $19,000 in a single year. Compare that to the early years when $12,500 required the same monthly grind. Suddenly, the math begins to feel like magic, not because the returns increased, but because the base is larger and your earlier effort is finally paying off. Consider two investors, Alex and Sam. Both start at 25, investing $1,000 per month. Alex stays consistent, while Sam pauses for 3 years. By age 30, Alex is at $75,000. Sam has essentially restarted at zero. Fast forward to 50, Alex has over $1.4 million, Sam about $800,000. Same contributions, same market, same patience, but the early consistency creates massive long-term advantage. This illustrates a core principle. The first $100,000 is about building momentum. Everything afterward compounds that advantage. The psychological shift is profound. Early gains felt like rounding errors. Now returns are meaningful. $50,000 at 7% yields $3,500 a year, a tangible reward that validates discipline. This isn't just about numbers, it's about mindset. You gain confidence, recognize opportunities others overlook, and your financial decisions become proactive instead of reactive. Money stops being a source of anxiety. It becomes a tool.
Here's the practical insight. Leverage your systems, automate your contributions, maintain disciplined spending, focus on high-impact choices. The habits you forged during the gravity of zero phase allow your money to start working for you without constant effort. What once required brute force now grows with grace. The slope hasn't disappeared, but your truck moves faster with less strain. With momentum on your side, the climb transforms. The truck still rolls uphill, but now every inch forward feels lighter. This is where compounding truly shines and where your mindset makes the difference between plateauing and accelerating. The first $100,000 taught you discipline. The next $900,000 teaches leverage, optionality, and strategic risk. When your portfolio reaches $100,000, your options expand. You can maintain a secure base in diversified investments while exploring higher upside opportunities. Maybe it's a small side business, real estate, or a speculative investment. The point is, your early groundwork makes calculated risk possible without jeopardizing progress. This optionality accelerates growth in ways impossible when starting from zero. A $10,000 experimental allocation could yield outsized returns, yet your core portfolio continues its steady climb. The psychology of wealth also changes. Early, slow growth tests patience. Mid-stage growth rewards it. Every contribution now feels like fuel rather than sacrifice. Small wins compound into confidence, mastery, and clarity. Your decisions are no longer reactive. You anticipate opportunities, act deliberately, and scale your gains intelligently. Money becomes a tool for freedom rather than a source of stress. The math reinforces the mindset. At $200,000 invested at 7%, returns produce $14,000 annually, more than most first jobs. At $500,000, that grows to $35,000 a year. The percentage hasn't changed, the meaning has. Your money now works alongside you, accelerating wealth faster than personal contributions alone ever could. This is the moment where compounding feels exponential, almost effortless, but only because of the invisible labor of habits, consistency, and discipline you invested in the early stage. How do you leverage this? First, automate relentlessly. Let contributions happen without friction. Second, reinvest returns. Don't chase lifestyle inflation. Third, maintain a long-term mindset. Treat market fluctuations as opportunities, not threats. Finally, embrace the psychological flip. Your confidence, knowledge, and habits now compound alongside your portfolio. Each smart choice today reduces future stress and opens new avenues for growth. In short, the first $100,000 is the training ground, grueling, slow, and often invisible. The next $100,000 and beyond is momentum realized. Disciplined habits amplify compounding, risk becomes optional, and psychology aligns with mathematics. Your truck no longer crawls, it steers efficiently, harnessing the slope rather than fighting it. This is the essence of wealth-building mastery. Patience, leverage, and consistent action turning struggle into freedom.